Let's plug this sucker in. Test, test. Shit's about to get crazy.
My name is Whitney Dancaster. I'm an elite ultra runner for Newton Running and UCAN Nutrition. This is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and I couldn't be more pumped.
Eating a blueberry muffin.
So let's talk about the 4x4x48 challenge. So that's 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. Capping it off at 48 miles, David Goggin, he came up with this idea during the COVID-19 pandemic. He noticed a lot of races were being canceled, so during 2020, he came out with this way for people to be able to do these extreme endurance events at home. And in return, I think they got like a t-shirt or something like that. I'm in the peak of my training block. I've got 2 more weekends of peak before I start to taper for Barkley Fall Classic, so this is the perfect time for me to do something like this. A lot of prep has gone into this: laundry, meal planning, getting my times down, so we're gonna start at 1 o'clock. So what I did to help keep me accountable and organized and on point for my times is I prepared this notepad on my iPhone with check boxes for each hour. Not only does it tell me the time that I need to start my next 4 mile segment, but also tells me what mileage I'm hitting at the completion of each of these. I also have my favorite questions that you guys sent in on Instagram. I picked out 7 of my favorite. So we're gonna be covering all of these, and yeah. My first question that came in was from Instagram. Just got Newton running shoes for the first time. I'm so excited. Any tips? And yes, absolutely, I have tips, especially for Newton running. If you're trying Newton running shoes for the first time, there is a lug system on the forefoot of the shoe that's very different from any other shoe you've ever worn or tried. Now, because of this system here, you are going to be using some different muscles. What these shoes promote is the natural form of running, so you're going to be doing more of a forefoot to midfoot strike. So I did notice some soreness in my calves when I first made the switch, so I started incorporating the shoe in a shorter run once a week. After my calves no longer experienced soreness, I upped it to 2 and 3 till I completely phased out my old shoe. Trust me, you can't go wrong with these. They're amazing. I love the reflective bits on the back. Plus there's some new trail shoes and exciting things happening for 2025. Really quickly, before we dive into this, I also wanted to talk about shoe rotation. I believe that changing up your shoe type, style, stability, non-stability is really going to help you strengthen your legs and make you a more well-rounded athlete. I run in a variety from the Fate 10, highly breathable, incredibly lightweight. From there, I also train in the Gravity 13. This is my shoe of choice for trail running and the Barkley Fall Classic. It has a lot of flex to the shoe, but still the same lug system that we know and love. And I also love the CF10. It's Newton Running's first carbon shoe. I had the pleasure of prototype testing 3 different versions before this final copy came out. It has a forked carbon plate. It's fast, incredibly light, and I love the stacked foam. Also a very breathable upper and a notched lacing system that is brand new. I've never had my shoes come untied in a race. Not going with, but yeah, love this shoe. Today's running, we are going to be wearing the Gravity 13 to start, and we'll go from there. Okay, so the temperature is 96 degrees and sunny. It's gonna be a hot one. This is the first run. All right, time to go melt. Let's do it to it. There we go. Oh, this bra is like perfect for this mic. So first round is done. Heat acclimation's at 100%. We did the 4 miles in about 8:35 pace. I've got some more work to do, so I'm gonna finish that up. And right now I'm just putting like leave-in conditioner in my hair because of the salt and the heat and everything. Back to work. See ya for round 2 at 5 p.m. 2 down, a bunch more to go. In typical Florida fashion, the second segment of today's run, this huge thunderstorm popped up. So of course I opened the door and it's lightning. So we did 4 miles on the treadmill. but really enjoying this challenge so far. Lucky that the gym is like 1.2 miles away, so I just drove there really quick and still got it done in time. One thing I wrote down while I was running today was, I think it's so cool that you can master something in ultra running and then become the beginner again, to where you're learning a whole new craft. So we're 8 miles into this challenge. I made my go-to banana date cinnamon walnut smoothie. I use the UCAN vanilla protein powder that's made with pea protein. More about that later. I'm gonna try to relax a little bit. I'm visiting with family. They're gonna be going out of town. I'm doggy sitting for a little bit. We've got the next run coming up will be at 9 o'clock, and then 1 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, Louie's in here with me. That's what the sounds that you probably hear. But all right, on the next. Very opinionated. Okay, so we are about to enter night 1 of this segment. I expect that it won't be too terrible, but I'm hopeful that I can get some naps in between. I just woke up from a 10-minute nap, had some food, ate some baked Lay's chips. They're very salty. So the sky is really clear. I have a feeling that we're not going to run into any issues with rain tonight. I'm just really hopeful that I can have some good sleep these next few segments and then hit it hard tomorrow, because I know as I enter night 2 I'm going to be feeling that fatigue. This thought kind of crossed my mind today, but this is a great way, like if you're looking to get a taste of the backyard ultra. I know it's not as frequent, you're doing the 4 miles every 4 hours, but it will give you a good idea on how the circuit works. Basically the backyard ultra, you toe the line every hour on the hour, and you're running like a little over 4 miles until you're the last man standing. Guess we're about to get a little taste of that, and yeah, let's get this party started. That was something I wanted to mention. Oh, so something really cool about this bra is it's made with silver threading. It's antibacterial, so as I go throughout the night, I can take this bra off, hang it up, put it back on for my additional segments without having to go through like so many clothes, because right now we've done 3 runs and I've completely sweat through everything, and I've already got another load of laundry ready to rock and roll. So let's go get these 4 miles over with. We're out here doing the first night run. It's pretty calm for the most part, but there have been a few cars rolling through just after 9. Really grateful that that storm rolled through earlier, because it really cooled things off. So I am enjoying this thoroughly. About it, like, we are souls having a human experience, and not everyone has this privilege. So if you have the capability to do this in your life, you should be taking advantage and living life to the fullest right now, because one day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna have a hard time getting out of bed, and you're gonna say, man, I really wish that I had done X, Y, Z. I mentioned, like, the mind is an incredible thing. Like, you know, if you're doing something like this and you find yourself starting to think like, I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that, like, turn it around. Like, you get to do this. You're choosing to do this hard thing to better yourself, do great things for your body, for your mental capacity, because you really choose your reality, and that's what makes this so incredible. I also truly think this is the best time of the day to do these kinds of things, because the whole rest of the world is asleep and it's just you, and it's pretty peaceful out. You can see the stars. I just saw some satellites. One thing I'm really looking forward to is this broth that I made from vegetable broth with shiitake mushrooms and turmeric. So it has some anti-inflammatory benefits. I'll start taking that, not this run, but probably the next run, to keep myself like warm, cozy, comfortable, but still get some nutrients in my body without having to like chew and fully wake up. I know I'm not going to want to talk as the night goes on. I'll be focused on keeping like my mind in a resting state so I can ease in and out of sleep. So I guess this is me signing off for the night. We got 2 more rounds, and I'll see you guys Saturday morning. Survived the night, but holy cow, this heat is already blazing, and I'm thinking we're gonna go to the gym so that I can wake up. I'm gonna come back, get ready, have my coffee, have a good breakfast, and then start rolling into the next outside. Okay, so I'm having lunch. This is one of the meals that I prepped ahead of time. It's basically just organic noodles, frozen broccoli that I steamed, and salt, pepper, butter, and vegetable broth. It does also have some Parmesan cheese, so a lot of calories. You've got carbs. Broccoli is really good for the system, plus some fats, which will be good. And I've also been absolutely going to town on these baked lays. I think they're just so salty. I've been sweating a lot. It's pretty hot here in Florida, so those have been hitting the spot. I kind of picked those up mid-training run yesterday. Change of scenery, so we're headed to the trail. I've got my UCAN Edge Gel. I just had a huge meal, but in case I feel like I need a little something else, I'm going to be taking this. I've been hydrating with the UCAN Hydrate Watermelon flavor. It also has magnesium, which is great for recovery. And this in case I need like a pre-workout boost. I might save it for after to help keep me awake. Just got out to the trail. It is just steaming. The humidity is pretty ridiculous. One thing I'm noticing is the water is really high. I forgot that we had a lot of rain, so with that means having to kind of be aware of my surroundings, keeping my head on a swivel, because a lot of gators do come straight up to the edge to kind of sunbathe during the day. And we just had spring, which is mating season, so the babies should be pretty grown by now. I saw some last April. I'll post the video clip after this. I was like looking in this pond and checking out like all the cute little babies, and then out of nowhere I see this nose coming out of the tube, and that's when I was like, oh, you know, time to go. Like, let me not get eaten today. I don't really know what I will do. It is blazing. I might do like a 4-1 interval type situation. Trying to kind of conserve energy because the nighttime miles are really tough. The little like 2 hours of sleep and how well I'm sleeping, not really so sure. I'll have to post the stats at the end. It just sounds hot, doesn't it? Absolute scorcher. We're almost a mile in. I'm gonna miss it here. I love these trails. They are flat and fast. There's the car. All I can think about right now is a 7-Eleven slushy, something like ice cold frozen. So I feel like that's gonna need to happen after the 5 p.m. run. Very steamy today. I love these shorts. They have a nice little pocket in the side. Side note, you probably noticed I switched it up to my carbons. I filled this container up with ice. Love this thing. Never would have purchased a Stanley on my own, but I'm hooked. Celsius sent me this. I think it was back in February, maybe March. And it's the best thing. It holds so much liquid. Holy shit. Whew. Got home immediately, took my socks off, put my feet in the pool. Glad the brood of the day, the heat is done. All right, I think we're ready. We are deep into this, 28 hours in. I've got some additional questions, and then also the first night I learned a lot of things, took some notes, wrote them down as they came to mind, and thought I'd share them with you so you don't have to learn it as you go should you decide to do this challenge. Okay, so let's talk about last night. I was primarily getting about 2-hour segments of rest. I was sleeping pretty good, falling asleep also almost immediately. I was also eating during my runs, and in the deep portions of 1 a.m. and 5 a.m., I was keeping my heart rate around 120 or lower. Primarily, I figured if I kept my heart rate low, it would be a little easier for me to get back to sleep rather than rushing through the miles to try to snag a couple more minutes. That worked really well. I also realized that training my body to recognize the certain showers. So during the day, it's pretty hot, so I've been taking cold showers. But at night, I've actually been taking warm or hot showers to kind of like get my body to wind down after the running segment. And also I made sure that instead of putting my next set of running clothes on, I was putting loose clothing, AKA pajamas, again, to signal to my mind and my body like it's time for sleep. And that worked really well. Another thing I realized at 5 a.m., I was still really tired at that point. I had only had maybe like 2 or 3 segments of 2 hours sleep, so 6 hours total, and I was still feeling really tired. So I wanted to sleep between the 5 to 9 segment, but realized the sun was gonna come up, and thank goodness I have a sleeping mask. I'll put the one that I have in the link in the show notes at the bottom so that if you want to purchase it, you can. It's really great because it has like an extra layer of soft foam around your eyes, almost like a set of goggles. It doesn't press on your eyelids, and it blocked out the light completely. It was perfect. So I ended up getting a total of 8 hours of sleep, which is pretty incredible. Okay, I think those are the main things that I wrote down that I was realizing I wanted to share with you guys. Also, overnight I had to do a load of laundry. I was running out of shorts to the point where the 5 a.m. run, I ran in leggings and it was still really hot. So I made sure that I got a load in, started it during one segment, put it in the dryer in the next, and then I've just been taking out of the wash. This room, by the way, is like a tornado ripped through because I've just been like sleeping, coming in and like grabbing things, and it's a disaster. I had a really good question come in about how do you balance work while training, and do you incorporate Pilates? I enjoy Pilates. I haven't done it in a really long time. It's expensive, takes a lot of time. Usually you have to travel to and from, and the class is like an hour. Realistically, I do strength train, so I lift weights, and the gym is very close, and typically if I'm at the gym, I can also incorporate a run on the treadmill, so I'm kind of like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. At least that's how I like to think about it. As far as like incorporating and the balance of work, a full-time career, and also training for ultras, I have to find a way to make it work. So fortunately, I do work remote. Sometimes if I have like 2 runs where one is shorter, I'll cram it in over a lunch break where I have about 20 minutes on the back end to rinse off, eat something, and get back to work. And then I finish the second portion of the mileage later in the evening. I have a really hard time waking up early in the morning because I basically start getting ready at 7 a.m. and that's without any running, so I'd have to wake up incredibly early. And I prefer to have my runs in the evening as like a way to de-stress, detach from everything, and just kind of like bring my day to an end. And that typically involves some late night training and runs. Food prepping on Sunday does help minimize the time on the back end of the day, and yeah, you find a way to make it work. So my Monday to Friday is incredibly regimented, and then the weekends I'm very loose with my training and either doing it very early in the morning or in the evening so that I can have some downtime. And that includes socializing as well. Okay, another question: is anyone sharing miles with you? I'm interested in how/what you do to recover when this challenge is completed. I've never done anything like this, but am interested. I'm having a blast. 10 out of 10 would recommend doing this. If you don't have anything to do on the weekend and you're bored and you're looking for something, like, this is a great way to like keep yourself busy and like do something really challenging. On the scale of difficulty, I would say if you've done a marathon, this is totally doable. You're basically doing 4 miles every 4 hours, and you've got quite a bit of downtime in between. But I do use like a CBD cream, and then I use the muscle scraper, which I'll do that after this challenge is complete because it does sometimes cause bruising. But at night, I was popping on my Firefly devices. I'll show you what these look like. They basically stimulate the peroneal nerve and deep peroneal nerve to activate the muscles and also allow some circulation in the bottom half of your legs. This is a really great tool because you can turn it on, sleep for an hour, and then turn it off. And this kind of goes through my day-to-day. Last night, I took 8 ounces of this nighttime tart cherry juice that has magnesium in it, and sometimes I'll do the triple magnesium from Pillar Performance. I chose not to do this one because this one makes me really tired, and I knew I was going to wake up every like few hours, so this one's great. I'll probably do this one after the challenge is over. But yeah, I definitely think this is something I would do again. No one has joined me on any of the miles, but my plan was to kind of like vlog this whole thing. I wanted to kind of experiment this on my own, but I'm definitely gonna be doing this again. All right, next question. Okay, thoughts on plant-based. I am vegetarian. I have tried plant-based for here and there. Some of the products are good, but I really love cheese, yogurt. I don't even drink milk. I use almond milk. I don't think I could ever give up cheese. With that being said, I did get bit by a tick. It's called the Lone Star tick. I have seen a lot of stuff on Instagram that it is spreading, so check yourself after you're on the trails. I think I picked this up. I was doing a lot of trail running in the Carolinas one summer, and I started having these allergic reactions that it looked like someone had taken a curling iron and basically seared my back and my skin. The allergic reactions were getting worse and worse and worse. You know, Impossible has great options, like you can imitate chicken, you can imitate burgers and like ground meat. I had to learn the hard way that there are a bunch of things your body does miss by not eating animal products that you do need to supplement. I started to feel really tired about a year in. I started taking iron. Protein is a huge thing. I take the UCAN pea protein. I can't have gelatin, like basically anything that's an animal byproduct. Another thing is I also tore my meniscus about a year and a half, or maybe it was 2 years into having this allergy. And I kind of ended up tracing it back to not having collagen in my diet. So Pillar Performance also has a vegan collagen that I've started incorporating. I mean, I think it's great to like try new things. If you want to try the vegan diet and lifestyle, go for it. I think it's refreshing to kind of like try stuff, but in my mind, too much of anything is not a good thing. So I think having a better, well-rounded diet is the way to go. So yeah, that's kind of my thought. What's the most ridiculous or unexpected thing that's ever happened to you during a race? You essentially peak 6 times. So it's 3 peaks out, 3 peaks back. And that's a lot for someone who lives at sea level. So I got insanely sick after about 30 miles. But towards the end, I had a hallucination too, actually, because I've never experienced hallucinations before, even during a 100 miler when I was kind of facing that sleep deprivation. I've heard about it before, And this was midday, broad daylight, and I saw the Michelangelo statue on the side of the trail. Literally, it was like rubbing my eyes, like what the heck? And as I got closer, it was just a stump. I have less than an hour till the 5 o'clock run. Time to eat. I'm gonna go relax for a little bit, and we'll see you at 5 o'clock. Okay, heading out on the first night run of the second day. It's almost 9 p.m. I'm just walking a little bit before 9 p.m. hits to kind of get the legs moving. I just stubbed the crap out of my toe and it's turning purple, and man, that sucker, like, I thought it took me out. I was on the ground rolling around. Definitely not a showstopper. It's all good. We've got 16 miles left. After this, 3 more segments, which means we're down to 12, and we'll be done at 9 a.m., which is really exciting. I did look at my sleep, and although I was like, I think getting about 2 hours every segment, I was never hitting REM, so my sleep is not great. I definitely feel tired, so I think that's gonna be a struggle tonight. There's also some heat lightning going on, but the sky is clear, so I think we're good. Fortunately, I have a gym membership that's 24 hours, so should it start to rain, we'll just go over there and get it done. All right, let's get this thing rolling. If I'm being honest, I still feel really good. Legs, body, nothing sore. It's just me being super sleepy. So I'm still wearing the carbons. We'll probably do carbons at 9 a.m. switch back to gravity after this, or maybe the Fate for a little more stability and support. But other than that, ooh, night 2. I'm gonna answer a question on this segment. Someone asked, like, what do you do when that eventual wall comes? How do you like push through that or get past it? I'd start by answering that by saying I prolong it for as long as I can, to kind of keep myself from getting there. So switching up the routes, changing the different types of run. Like on Friday I did progressive, mixed in some speed work. At night I did like very low, zone 2, super easy. And then at the trail, like midday, I did 4-1 because it was super hot. I tried to distract myself from what's actually happening. So I downloaded some podcasts, and for this run, it's 9 p.m. I'll probably listen to one. I don't think I'll get all the way through it, but the remaining 2 at night, 1 a.m. and 5 a.m., I won't do that because at 9 p.m. like my mind is still active. So if I'm spending my time out here, might as well learn something. But at 1 and 5 a.m., I should be like kind of keeping my mind at peace so I can get to sleep a little easier. And that's been working, so we'll stick with it. But yeah, then eventually we do arrive at the wall. So usually I'll make like bets or deals with myself, or give myself like a reward at the end, whether that's like jumping in a cold pool, getting a slushie from 7-Eleven, and those work really well for me. If you haven't tried it, give that a shot. But also like reminding myself that I'm choosing to do this and I get to, and just kind of like pumping myself up. Okay, really hope that's not headed this way. It almost looks like heat lightning, but I'm not sure. There have been a few that have lit up like a bunch of clouds. Worst case scenario, we'll hit the gym, 24-hour fitness, and yeah, I just hate to run on the treadmill, but we don't do lightning here in Florida. Okay, food plan. I'm gonna talk it through so I don't forget. Getting some like acid reflux, I think, from having carbonated water. And then fuel-wise, I'm gonna do the UCAN gels and the UCAN energy bars. They sit so well on my stomach. It's reliable and I know I can trust it. So I'm not gonna play with anything. Just stick to what I know. Eating a blueberry muffin. So it was hard to wake up. Oh man. Yeah. Are we in? Yeah, we're good. Okay. Last night was really tough because I did not sleep very well. Body-wise, I feel really good. It did storm last night. I would definitely do this again. I would love to invite friends to do it with me after experiencing it solo for the first time, which I highly recommend doing it on your own. Okay, talk to me about strategies for finding the right people to pace you for overnight. This is such a good question. Pacing and crewing in general, there are certain things you want to look for in whoever's going to have that responsibility, because they really do become like your eyes, your mind. They keep you in check when you really can't think for yourself anymore. I have a really good vlog. It's 50% done from Save the Daylight, the 48-hour ultra that I went and crewed and paced like one of my very close friends. And I'm going to use that vlog to answer this question because there's really a lot to unpack here. It doesn't always have to be one person. Sometimes you can have multiple people crewing, pacing. So you can kind of like divide this role up into several people. Someone is blowing up my phone. I have been loving everyone following along on Instagram. Thank you guys so damn much, because last night was so hard and I just kept seeing all these DMs, text messages coming in, and you guys were just like cheering me on, and it just like really got me pumped. And so like at 1 o'clock in the morning, as I'm dragging myself out of bed, you know, I'm seeing these and I'm just like, yeah, let's freaking go. Like, you know, it made me feel like I had a little bit of a purpose. All of the things that I kind of ate, and I did weigh myself at the beginning of this and just now, I weigh exactly the same. So again, I think that's really important, making sure you're hydrating, eating to what you need, and everybody's different. Everyone sweats a different amount. So like the salt you need to consume, the calories you need to consume is totally different. If I look at Garmin Connect, yesterday, so Saturday, was my heaviest. Just to put this into perspective, so I burned 3,325 calories yesterday, and the total mileage on Saturday was, how do I do? Actually, I don't know. Let me go back to the notepad. Saturday was the heaviest, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 4, 24 miles. So roughly 3,300 calories. That's not hard for me to consume. One mistake I did make is I just went to town on some pasta that I had like food prepped. And it was like right before the really hot trail run that I did. As I was doing the run, I kept telling myself, like, in the moment, it was what I really wanted. And I feel like I do a good job of eating intuitively. Like if I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat. If I feel okay, I might have a little snack because I know what's coming. But I'll never get myself into like a deficit, which is good. But in that moment, like I was hungry. So I ate it, I don't know how much it must have been, like 2 bowls of like this Parmesan pasta with broccoli, and I just loaded it up with salt because I had been sweating all morning. It's like 104 degrees here, was the heat index yesterday. So it was what I needed. It didn't feel great running 4 miles with that in my stomach, but did pretty good. So carried me through the night and whatnot. So, all right, let's get ready. There's some things I gotta do before this last little bit. This has been a lot of fun sharing this with you guys. Let's go get this over with. Almost a mile in, like 0.84 right now. Really just can't wait for that Starbucks. Gonna hit the bridge towards the end so I get a nice little breeze. It smells so bad back here, like a swamp. It has been an insanely hot summer, but there's a bit of a breeze here, so that's good. Glad that's done. Signing off, over and out.